Hey, good morning from downtown Montgomery. We're at the Capitol building. The clouds are already overhead. We're getting ready for a significant weather event. Biggest rainfall event we've had in quite a long time. As the bells continue to chime back behind me, I'll tell you all about the weather part coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hang with me because first of all, since we're in this historic area of downtown Montgomery, I want to tell you about a trip I took this last June. I'm a big history fan and a big Civil War fan. Let me tell you about the trip and then some important weather.
The centerpiece of my trip was Gettysburg. Now, if you're a Civil War buff, this is ground zero. Biggest battle ever in North America. Turning point in the war. Over 50,000 casualties in 3 days. Hey, you know this guy, my friend, fellow meteorologist Jeff Jumper. He lives up in that area now, on TV in York, Pennsylvania. And Jeff's been to Gettysburg 2 or 3 times before. He kind of showed me around. This is the cyclorama on the upper floor of the museum. 377 feet round circle painting, 42 feet high, stunning in person, depicting Pickett's charge on Gettysburg Day 3. Pickett's charge, July 3rd, 1863. It was Lee's desperation here, the final charge. And this is the offensive positions, the artillery for the Union here. And across that field, from where you see that tree line there, 7,000, actually 12,000 Confederate soldiers charged this position. 7,000 of them died. There's over 1,300 monuments at Gettysburg. I'm in front of one of the Virginia War Memorial monuments. Jeff's in front of the biggest and best one, the Pennsylvania Monument, honoring the 360,000 citizens of Pennsylvania who fought in the war. And there I am at the top of that one, overlooking the Gettysburg battlefield. Then it was on to Washington, D.C., one of my favorite places to visit. That's the Vietnam War Memorial, the wall, looking towards the Washington Monument early in the morning, taken from my iPhone. Wow, that is spectacular. And then I went at 7 o'clock in the morning to the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, how could I, on a Civil War trip, not see the monument where Abraham Lincoln is honored? And today on the National Mall, the focus is the great emancipator Abraham Lincoln, who of course gave that stirring address at Gettysburg. Later today, I will be at the last location this man was ever at, and that of course was Ford's Theater. The President and Mrs. Lincoln left the White House about 8:15 for that short carriage ride to the theater, roughly 8 blocks away, over on 10th Street, to Ford's Theater, for a performance of Our American Cousin. It was Good Friday, and we all know what happened. Shortly after 10 o'clock, John Wilkes Booth enters this presidential box, shoots Lincoln in the head. The president is carried across the street to the Peterson House, laid on this bed, and died at 7:22 in the morning. And there is the casket that was on the funeral train that went to 180 cities around America. Then I visited Arlington National Cemetery, truly hallowed ground, and that's where my brother Hal is buried, Vietnam War hero. In fact, I got to see Hal's headstone for the very first time. Of course, that's General Robert E. Lee's house up there on the hill. Arlington House is just up from the Eternal Flame, the grave of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a very popular spot to visit in Arlington. Then it was on to Richmond, Virginia, where I toured the White House of the Confederacy, the second White House. Of course, we have one of those in Montgomery. This is where Jefferson Davis lived. Went to 3 museums while I was in Richmond, saw numerous monuments along a incredible street called Monument Avenue. If you haven't seen that, you need to check it out next time you're in Richmond. South of Richmond, Petersburg battlefield, site of the 9-month siege. And there's the tunnel that the Unions built under the Confederate forces, causing the big explosion July 30th, 1864, that created the crater. If you know anything about this battle, you know what I'm talking about when I say the crater. My Civil War trip appropriately ended here, Appomattox, Virginia. That's the McLean House, where the surrender agreement was signed, ending the war. This is where Lee surrendered to Grant. It was a Sunday. It was April 9th, 1865. It was Palm Sunday, 1:30 in the afternoon. And later that week, on a Friday, Lincoln lost his life to an assassin's bullet at Ford's Theater. How cool it was for me to stand in that room and know that sitting at that desk were Grant and Lee. Grant proposing the very generous terms which ended the bloodiest war in U.S. history.
Quite a trip, huh? Yeah, thanks for hanging with me because now we have some important weather information to talk about and we're going to get right to that. Stay with me here.
That low in the Gulf is the remnants of Pacific Hurricane Patricia. causing flooding rainfall. Portions of Texas last night and again today. And that's moving off to the north. And there's the radar snapshot this morning. Look at all the rain from Mississippi back to Louisiana and back into Texas. It gets heavier off the coast. There's the low just off of the Louisiana coast at midday today, south of Lake Charles. A lot of isobars associated with that, indicating a lot of wind midnight tonight. The rain has overspread Alabama. The tropical low is located just south of the Louisiana coast at that hour. Here's an 11 o'clock future radar snapshot showing most of the rain staying west Alabama during the daytime hours today, but overspreading the state. There's 8 o'clock tonight future radar indicating rain getting heavier, too, in southwest Alabama and very heavy in portions of Mississippi and Louisiana. It's going to be a very wet commute tomorrow. Not only a wet day tomorrow, but a windy day. You see all those lines of isobars indicating winds gusting at 22 miles per hour at times during the day Monday. On Tuesday, the tropical low in North Mississippi gets a little weaker, but still scattered showers just about any time during the day Tuesday. Wednesday, I think the showers will taper off by evening. There's a cold front coming in through the Memphis area on Wednesday evening. That's 7 o'clock Wednesday night. And look at the expected rainfall. That green line is the National Weather Service expected rainfall, 2.5 inches literally in Montgomery indicated. The GFS is the blue line at the top indicating more than 3 inches. You get the idea. It could be a significant rainfall amount. Not only 2 to 3 inches here in central Alabama, heavier down towards the coast and very heavy in Louisiana. But then nice air back behind it. The GFS is printing maybe some upper 40s by Friday and Saturday morning. Saturday, of course, is Halloween, and so far, the Halloween weather looks spectacular.
A long video today, I know. Kind of a mix of the Travel Channel, the History Channel, and the Weather Channel all combined. Now, tomorrow morning, your next video will be online by 6 o'clock, and it'll be all weather information and some serious business because we got to talk about a significant weather event tomorrow, wet and windy, no severe weather, but we will get you down and ready for your Monday and the week ahead on your video. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 6.
Rich Thomas Weather.